we'll be also having our Q&A section when we've had a chance to chat with all of our panelists. And now we have the lovely Mark Arnold. Welcome, Mark. Thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
And for those of you who do not know Mark Arnold, he is the computer geek to English translator, which I always love and usually mess up. So I'm quite happy that I got it correct this time. The computer geek to English translator. He specializes in computers and other technology for seniors. And he does that as a former Microsoft certified systems engineer and a former special education teacher. He combines his unique background in computers and education to help his clients navigate through the maze of today's technology in a style that is simple and easy to understand. Mark, is there anything else you wanted to add to that?
That pretty much sums it up. When I talk to you about technology, you're actually going to understand me.
I love that. And I've utilized his services, and anyone who knows me knows I love technology. My love affair with tech is maybe a little too much, but even I have moments where I want to throw my technology out the window for my 2 stories. And so I love being able to go to Mark and say, help, please. So welcome to the stage, Mark.
Thank you.
Now, Mark, when you and I were chatting, it was interesting under this, and we were talking about this theme here, we were chatting, and you had talked about something that really intrigued me, which was making yourself be a hot commodity. Like that's how you've been able to kind of keep that positive mindset and create this positive economy. You kind of went a different way. You know, we've heard from Scott about joy. We heard from Phil about having that solid, strong foundation, faith and belief system. We just heard from Wendy where she gave us tips and tools, but also doing something that you enjoy. So let's talk about this being a hot commodity.
Okay, well, if you can find your superpower and combine that with being something that is somebody else's kryptonite, you're going to be a hot commodity. So this is what I mean. If you can find that thing that other people don't like to do, but comes naturally to you, something that you just do, if you can combine those things, you're going to be a hot commodity.
Okay, so I'm curious, what is your superpower?
My superpower is patience. That's it. That's all I've got going for me. I'm not the smartest tech guy. I'm not the fastest tech guy. All it is that I'm really, really patient, and I'm good at explaining things in bite-sized pieces. And so as I've developed in my computer life, I've specialized in technology for seniors. So think about that. What population needs the most amount of patience? It's not the teenagers, it's not the millennials, it's the people who are a little bit older who didn't grow up with an iPhone in their hand.
Right. Who didn't come out of the womb with technology. So, how did you get into this?
I would love to tell you that it was all this great big master plan, but that's not how it happened. I was helping a friend of mine who was a senior with her computer, and we get done, and she says, "What do I owe you?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? What do you owe? You don't owe anything." She's like, No. I have never understood this. I've never been able to do these things. Other people have tried to explain it and couldn't. I really appreciate what you did. I'm going to pay you. I'm like, well, okay. And the wheels start turning. Oh, there's this section of the population that just needs patience, and that happens to be my superpower. What if I did this? And 7 years later, here we are.
You know, I love that. And I love that your superpower isn't a classic thing. Meaning, when people are probably thinking of what's my superpower, they're probably thinking of their talents, like I'm super smart, or I'm very fast, or da. Yours it's an intangible thing, right? For me, I love to learn. Like I'm sure for a lot of people, but it's not just learn. I have the ability to learn and then break those things down and be able to pass that on to someone else, right?
Yeah.
So it's an intangible thing. And so I just wanted everyone to hear that, because I didn't want people to be focused on, well, I'm like, I don't really have any talents or superpowers. Like, absolutely. And Mark, you had mentioned that it's usually that thing that comes so natural to you that it doesn't even seem like a superpower. So
Yeah.
how did you figure out patience was your superpower?
Well, when I was in computers, originally, I was the network administrator at a local high school. And I'm doing that. I'm helping the computers, I'm helping the students. And I had some health challenges. And when it was time to go back, I realized, you know what? I was having so much more fun helping the students, helping them understand. And this is all when technology is new. This is in the late 90s, where schools were just really coming on board with everybody's going to have a computer. So I said, well, okay, what am I going to do then? And I decided to go into special ed. And it just turned either because I got my special ed training, I learned patience, or I was patient to start with, and that made me successful at special ed. Right. I don't know which one's which. It's probably a little bit of both, nature and nurture together.
Yeah.
So
I love that. Now, you were telling me a story of someone who has a unique superpower, and they've turned it also into a very successful company. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I think this will help people. It'll open their minds even more when we're talking about this superpower concept.
Sure. So I know somebody who doesn't mind the heat, doesn't mind being outside in the Arizona summer, and really likes animals and doesn't mind the things that animals do. So he has made an entire business out of going to people's homes, to their backyards, and picking up after the dog poop. And he's not just doing it once. He's got like 6 trucks. He has figured out that this is something that, I mean, who wants to do that? Who wants to pick up after their pet? But he doesn't mind it, and he's found other people that don't mind to do that. And so it's almost an empire that he's building. It's really amazing.
Every time I hear that, I'm impressed by that. That's amazing. How someone, thinking outside of the box, really understanding who they are and what they care about, and has turned that into a very practical service for others. I love that. So there it is, superpower. What's the one thing that you want to leave with our audience with today?
Other than try to find your superpower. Yeah. When you are developing whatever it is that you're going to do as a business, go ahead and specialize a little bit. And this is what I mean. I could teach computers to anybody. I really could.
I'm anybody.
But I have narrowed it down so that the message I send is more concise. Because they say in marketing, if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. Correct. So go ahead and find a niche, find something to specialize in, and be the best in that niche, and people will always need you.
I love that. Well, there you have it. Find your superpower, and don't be narrow thinking about that. You just heard Mark's patience, his friend. He does not mind taking and picking up after the dogs, picking up their stuff. So he's created an empire. But also pick a niche. For Mark, it's seniors. Think those 3 things. Mark, thank you so much for being with us today and being on stage today. We really appreciate you. We will see you shortly here when we get to our Q&A section. Go ahead and bring up our last panel discussion for today. And